Is your firearm rail equipped? Then you're ready for the Railmaster from Crimson Trace. Easy to install to almost any pistol with a rail, all with the same quality and confidence you expect from Crimson Trace. CrimsonTrace.com. Confidence you can see.
Broadcasting nationwide, this is Tom Gresham's Gun Talk. Your views, advice, and questions are the driving force of gun talk. Call Tom now at 866-TALK-GUN. That's 1-TOM-TALK-GUN. Or reach out to us via email at tom@guntalk.com. Let us know what you think about the gun-related issues of the day. Now, here's Tom Gresham.
Who? What? Where? Oh, yeah, here he is. Hey, Tom Gresham here. Oh, we're having fun. I'm glad that you could be with us. Yeah, the show's called Gun Talk because that's what we do. We talk about guns. We talk about scopes and rifles and handguns and revolvers and pretty much anything that has to do with the firearms world. We talk about gun rights an awful lot because, well, gun rights are under attack, seriously under attack, from people who want to ban guns, from people in the government who want to ban guns. I love it. People say, well, you keep talking about gun bans. Nobody wants to ban guns. Really? So when President Obama says he wants to ban guns, he doesn't really want to ban guns? Well, he doesn't want to ban all the guns. Yeah, maybe. But he definitely wants to ban some of the guns. The ones that are cosmetically challenged, the ones that are kind of ugly, the ones that look like military guns or military-style rifles. I love that, the media phrase. Military-style rifles. Not military rifles. Military-style rifles. So when he says he wants to ban guns, I don't know. I'm just a simple guy, but I think that means he wants to ban guns. When he says we got to ban semi-automatic rifles, I think he wants to ban those guns. I just kind of take him at his word on the whole thing. And then people, the gun banners come back and say, well, you're overreacting. Really? So when they say we want to ban these guns, and what we really would like to do would be the door-to-door search and take them away from you, but we know we can't get that yet. And they are enacting gun bans. It's not like they're going to. They're actually doing it. I think they are banning guns. How is that overreacting? If somebody could explain that to me, that somehow I am paranoid and overreacting, when people say they want to ban my guns, I think they want to ban my guns. When people are banning guns, I think they are gun banners. It's interesting. You probably have followed the story about the FCC, the Federal Communications Commission, sending inspectors to newsrooms to do a survey of editorial policies. Really? We're going to have the government checking on what our media is saying and the opinions they have, and are they giving enough coverage of the issues, the kind of coverage that the Obama administration would like for them to have? One of my favorite columnists, he is stone cold brilliant, is Thomas Sowell. Unbelievably good writer. Thomas Sowell is a senior fellow at the Hoover Institution, Stanford University, Stanford, California. Bachelor's, master's degrees, PhD, blah, blah, blah. He was writing about this deal with the FCC doing a survey of journalistic practices. And he's writing about rights. And it applies just as much for the Second Amendment as the First Amendment. I'm going to read you 2 or 3 things that he wrote here, just as an example of, first, how good he is and how much you should be reading him, but also just food for thought when it comes to gun rights, Second Amendment rights. He's talking about basically the tyrannical tactics of the administration. He says, such tactics have become especially common in the Obama administration, which has the morals of thugs and the agenda of totalitarians. They may not be consciously aiming at creating a totalitarian state, but shameless use of government power to crush those who get in their way can produce totalitarian results. Certainly true. Later on he says, it doesn't matter what rights you have under the U.S. Constitution if the government can punish you for exercising those rights. And it doesn't matter what limits the Constitution puts on government officials' power if they can exceed those limits without any adverse consequences. In other words, he says, the Constitution cannot protect you if you don't protect the Constitution with your votes against anyone who violates it. I'm going to say that again. The Constitution cannot protect you if you don't protect the Constitution with your votes against anyone who violates it. Those government officials who want more power are not going to stop unless they get stopped. Professor Thomas Sowell, you are oh so right. Oh so right. Holy cow. John is on line 4 out of Tulsa, Oklahoma. Hello, John. You shooting with some iron sights?
Yeah, absolutely. I shoot IDPA and other things, and I've been shooting for a few years.
Mm-hmm.
I shoot about 10 to 15,000 rounds a year, at least. And on my carry guns, I've got lasers, but a lot of people I shoot with say, they're not good or, they're not going to help you. And I'm just wondering, I'd be real interested in knowing what you think about that.
Let me ask you this. You obviously are an accomplished shooter. You're shooting 10, 15,000 rounds a year. You're competing. Why?
Right.
Why did you put lasers on your carry guns?
Well, I did it because, when you shoot a competition, that's one setup. The target's not shooting back at you. You're not disabled. You're not on the ground. You're not, it's not the target's not moving. Whereas, in a real confrontation, so there's so many variables that could happen that I think a laser is just, if you're down on the ground, you're crippled or something, and you're with your weak hand, and there's maybe someone on top of you, and there's a hostile situation, then it seems like a laser is probably. And the other thing is, I think my feeling is that in a confrontation, you're watching the bad guy, you're not watching the front sight as much, and the laser helps do that.
I have to tell you, John, I could not have said it any better. I mean, don't listen to. Why would we listen to someone who doesn't have a laser, hasn't trained with a laser, doesn't know why or how you would use a laser in a gunfight, doesn't appreciate the benefits of one? Obviously, you know how to use iron sights. You're not. If you have good light and everything's good, you're going to go with your iron sights. You know how to do that. But you have thought this through, my friend. You have figured out that it's probably not going to be perfect. It's liable to be lousy light, low light, no light. You may be fighting somebody with one hand and trying to shoot with the other hand, another attacker out there. There are all sorts of things that can happen. I think you don't need to be asking me. You need to be telling them exactly what you just told me. This is why. And then do not let them talk you out of it. You have figured it out. You got the answer. All you need to do, the only thing I would suggest is the way you're practicing now, go do a little bit of practicing with the laser in low light situations. I think you're going to really appreciate it, because what you want to do is be able to transition from iron sights to laser and back if necessary. You got it figured out. You don't need my help. I appreciate the call. Wow. I mean, that pretty much covers it. Here's another John in Tulsa, Oklahoma. Let's go to line 3. Hey, John, how doing?
Hi, how are you?
I am good. You got Taurus Judge revolvers, huh?
I've got a judge and a circuit judge.
Mm-hmm.
A little carbine for my wife. I have 45 Colt stuff from like an M90 or a 92 Winchester to Rugers and so forth, and I cannot put any. I don't feel comfortable putting any 45 Colt in my judge because it might take it apart. So to me, it's a 410 gun only.
Well, why would you say that? Wait, back up. I can't let you just throw that grenade out there and run away from it. What do you mean you're afraid it's going to blow it up? The gun is made to take 45 Colt ammo.
Oh, no. Yeah, I understand that. But the 45 Colt stuff I shoot is
I got you. You're shooting heavy loads. You're loading your own stuff.
Yeah, like 300 grain at
I got you. Okay, you're loading it up for Black Hawk, Super Black Hawk kind of stuff. Okay, I'm with you now. Right. I wanted to find out what we were talking about. Okay, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Well, anyway, the point is that to me it's a 410 only gun in my house, not everybody's house.
Got you.
And Smith makes a thing called a governor, which will also accept 45 ACP in half moon clips.
Aha.
And for those folks like me who don't want to put a 45 Colt in it, I would suggest Governor might be a better option. That's all.
Okay, that's interesting. Yeah, particularly if you have heavy, because you can load 45 Colt loads really hot, and you can shoot those in some guns, not all guns. And you have to know if you're shooting them at a Super Black Hawk or something like that, or a Red Hawk, you can load them up. Yeah, okay, I get it. I'm with you there. It makes a lot of sense. John, thank you for that call. Wes is in Waco, Texas, line 2. Hey, Wes, what's happening?
That guy I was talking about, he was having a hard time finding ammunition.
Uh-huh.
And I look around here, and you can't find ammunition in Walmart or any of them places. And I read in the paper some while back that, last month, that the government has spent millions on ammunition for the Homeland Security.
That's true, but that's not what the problem is. The problem is we've been buying up the ammo. Now, look, there's ammo available, 9mm 40, 45, 223, plenty of ammo out there. We're still having trouble with 22 rimfire. And by the way, and thank you for the call, if you're looking for ammo, you can't find it locally, and I always try to buy locally if you can, there's a website, gunbot.net, gunbot.net, and it tracks where ammo is available on the web. And when you find it, you better buy it quickly because people jump right on it. But check it out, gunbot.net. What are you finding out there? Are you seeing ammo? Give me not only a range report, give me a store report, a market report. What's out there? 22, 45, 40, 9mm? What's hard to find, and what can you find on the shelves these days? 866-TALK-GUN.
Hi, I'm Michael Bain. You know I hate cleaning guns, so anything that makes that job faster and easier is definitely a plus. And that's where Bore Tips come in. These reusable, lint-free cleaning swabs make cleaning a breeze. And the tighter-fitting Bore Tips do a better job on barrels than cotton mops or patches. Hey, it's a dirty job. Let Bore Tips help. To find a dealer, visit boretips.com.
In the war on terror, fighting crime in the streets, in competition and homes around the world, one name in firearms stands out: Sig Sauer. Our pistols and rifles are renowned for their unfailing performance. This same commitment to excellence can be found in our line of SigTac accessories and the training offered by the Sig Sauer Academy. For unmatched quality, reliability, and innovation when it counts, choose Sig Sauer. Visit sigsauer.com today.
Looking for shooting instruction but don't know where to go? Well, we have it, and you can access hours of training and safety videos, which you can watch on your home computer. On GunTalkTV.com, we have top competitive shooters, the best in self-defense trainers, and folks who have hunted all over the world, helping you learn which gun to buy, how to use it, how to store it safely, and everything else you need to be a safe and competent shooter. We also have gun makers showing off their newest rifles, shotguns, and handguns. Doesn't matter if you're a veteran shooter or a complete beginner. You'll find what you need at GunTalkTV.com. You can check it out for free, and you can get full access for only $5.95 a month. That gives you unlimited access to hundreds of videos, and we're adding more all the time. Run the videos over and over to make sure you understand what's being said. Skip around. You're in control. Get smarter, shoot better. Visit GunTalkTV.com.
You already know Liberty Safes are great values. Now they're offering an even sweeter deal for Gun Talk listeners. At LibertySafe.com, click on the Fat Boy Safe and type in Tom. Liberty will give you up to $250 off your purchase. Protect the things you value most. LibertySafe.com, click the Fat Boy Safe, promo code Tom, save up to $250. That's LibertySafe.com. LibertySafe.com. Who is this Tom Gresham, and what's with all the gun stuff? Check out our FAQs at guntalk.com or email us your question or concern to tom@guntalk.com. Now, back to Gun Talk.
All right, back with you. Just got an email. Fella's asked me, he says he's carrying a Smith & Wesson M&P Shield in an ankle holster as a backup gun. And he wants to put the XS sights, front sight on it. and he's wondering whether to go with the standard size, or the bigger dot. And I got to say, specifically because he said this is a backup gun. So obviously he's carrying something else as your primary gun. So the shield in an ankle holster is his backup. So if everything has gone wrong, he's got to go to the... Let me tell you, if everything's going wrong, you need a sight that you can see right now, that you don't even have to look at, because you're going to be looking at the threat. And I would say go big. I love the XS Sight's big dot, because when you bring that gun up, you see this thing that looks, I always describe it as looking like a golf ball on the end of your gun. You simply just put the dot on the target and start pulling the trigger. It works. If you're at the point where your primary gun has gone dry, which means you've been in a heck of a gunfight, or has gone down, which means you are in a gunfight and your gun's broken and you have not been able to get it working again, and you're having to go to a backup gun, as they say, you're already having an excrement sandwich of a day. You want a sight that you don't have to really think about, because probably whoever is there is close on you, on top of you, whatever. I'm just telling you. I don't even like to think about that kind of stuff. That's just ugly, man. It's why we train. But some of that stuff will make you wake up in the middle of the night with cold sweats. You're going, wow, what do I do if my gun goes down? What do I do here? And, I think probably that's one of the differences. If you've been through some decent training, I'm talking about a several-day class of this kind of deal, you do think about what ifs. And if you haven't been through training, you don't even know the what ifs that are out there. You don't even know what to ask or what to be concerned with. So just get training. It's just, man, I cannot emphasize it enough. And if you can't get to a good trainer, now, get yourself, I would say, our DVDs, which are not expensive. Go to shopguntalk.com. You can also look at hundreds of videos that we have online for free. Training videos. You can go to guntalk.tv, and on YouTube, we've got the whole First Person Defender series. You just go to YouTube and look for First Person Defender, and this is really seriously good training, and you will be awakened to the whole what-if deal, okay? Just telling you. Let's go to line one. David's with us out of Oregon. Hey, David, you won... Oh, no, line one. David won something, then he went away. So John is on line 3 in Fargo, North Dakota. Hello, John.
Good afternoon, Tom. How are you?
I am well. What's cooking?
Well, I'm working with my 6-year-old granddaughter right now with the airsoft targets, but I called in, about the ammunition so-called crisis.
Yeah.
And I realize it varies probably, area to area in the country, because my uncle in Southern Illinois has probably more problems than I have sometimes. But lately, I've not had any problem securing 9mm or 223 or 5.56. It seems like the supply is loosened up quite a bit. Now, if we could get people to quit stacking their closets 6 foot high, as you've alluded to several times on the program over time, I think it'll level out eventually.
I think so. And back to your original point of this being regional, localized, because some people say, look, I got ammo everywhere, and other people say, I still can't find any ammo. I'm not sure if some of the people who are saying I can't find ammo just went to a store that happened to be low or out, or if they're actually going to a half a dozen or a dozen different places locally and finding no ammo in any stores. Or are they, and John, this is what I would ask you, do you think maybe some folks are just repeating the stories from last year and haven't actually checked now?
I think I would go in that direction a little bit. Again, if somebody just goes into, the local Walmart, from time to time, their inventories have varied greatly. Mm-hmm. But now if I go into like our Shields Outfitter store, our local Gander Mountain, and we have the Outdoorsman up here too.
Right.
Generally, I go into those and, they might be out of a, 40 Smith & Wesson one day. But a couple of days later, it'll be back. Same with most of the 9mm stuff. The 115 has been a little tough for one of them, locally, but it's still kind of hit and miss, but it's gotten way better than it was 6 months ago. 6 months ago, I was able to buy it online without any problems.
would it be fair to say you still don't need to be real particular if you say, look, I have to have 115, I wouldn't take a 124 grain bullet? I mean, you kind of got to get over yourself on some of this, don't you?
Well, yeah. I mean, you can't just be hung up that, well, I'm only going to shoot Winchester, or I'm only going to shoot, Federal, et cetera, et cetera.
Right.
You might have to lower your standards or your expectations a little bit, and just buy whatever's available to go to the range with. But like I said, I'm not, aside from the 22, I've just not had any problems. Especially the last 6 months, it's been getting better and better.
Yeah, it is. And 223 and 9 especially are available. 45's available. It's just more expensive. And John Dixon, thank you for the call. Who was we talking with? Was it last week? He was saying, look, it's really related to the price of lead, and the more lead you have. No, it wasn't. It was actually when I was with Rob Latham. He was saying this. We were shooting. He said it's just the price of lead and how much lead you are throwing out there. He says that's why 45 is so much more expensive than 9. You're shooting a 115 or 124 grain bullet versus a 230 grain bullet. And the more lead you have in that 45 is going to cost more. It's why so many people, including me, are going to the 9 as their primary gun because you can just shoot it a lot. I mean, you can go out and buy a couple of thousand rounds of 9 and it's not going to hit you too hard. And you can find it these days, which is the other part of it. So anyway. I have a question from Jim on Twitter. Says, when watching you guys on the TV, I see that you and Ryan seem to be wearing different muffs in every scene. Do you have like special super duper? Yeah. No, we got a great big Tupperware tub. It's probably got 15 or 20 sets of earmuffs in them from the last 15 years. And we just grabbed something. For noise canceling, we kind of like the Howard Lights. They're fairly inexpensive, like $50 or so. And I really like those. But a lot of times, honestly, we'll just grab something, shove some foam plugs in, and then put some others on top of it. And red, blue, green, indifferent. We use whatever we can get and slap them on. The main thing is just use them.
Tom Gresham's Gun Talk is broadcast nationwide every Sunday. If you can't hear Gun Talk where you live, call your local talk format station and clue them in on Gun Talk. Stay tuned. We're coming right back. Now broadcasting nationwide on radio, via satellite, and through downloads, iTunes, the Gun Talk app, and other podcast clients. You're listening to Gun Talk with Tom Gresham.
All right, back with the 866 Talk Gun. We'll get you in here. You can also shoot me an email, tom@guntalk.com. Don't forget to register for a chance to win. All you got to do is go to guntalk.com/win, W-I-N, and you can enter for a chance to win. We'll give away two grand prize winners from Console Vault. Good people making really cool products. Vaults that will go into the console of your truck or SUV, and they really do lock up. They're steel vaults. Or you can get the one that goes in the wall of your house. It's pretty slick, but the winners get to pick whatever they want, frankly. Go to guntalk.com/win. That'll get you in there. 866-TALK-GUN will get you in here. Let's go to line 1. Paul is with us out of Lake Park, Minnesota. Paul has his thoughts on this whole 22 ammo shortage. What do you think, Paul?
Well, 5 years ago, I was buying 22 bricks for $13.45 from Walmart, and I could go in there and buy them anytime I wanted to. And I'm in my 50s now, and I remember back when they were $8-10 a brick, and you could go into any store and get them whenever you wanted. Now they don't have them, and they can't get them like they used to. I've talked to many. I drive truck, and I've talked to many managers, and they said that when they order, it's on order for months at a time, and when they do get them, they only get like 10 bricks at a time. So I don't think it's people hoarding it. And the other ammo, we all know that the government's been buying a lot of ammo, and they made the shortage. Now it's starting to come back with the other ammo, but the 22 ammo, that's a different story, and I don't know why there's a shortage, because the stores can't get it like they used to.
Okay, well, let me go back. The government buying ammo is not the reason there was a shortage in centerfire ammo, not even close. When they put out an order for ammo, it doesn't mean they're actually getting it. Everybody got all upset about, they're going to have an order for 1 billion rounds. Doesn't mean they're buying them. It just means they got the order out for them. They haven't actually produced them or bought them. But let's circle back. Let me ask you a question. Do you think there are more people buying ammo now than 5 years ago? I mean, and buying more ammo each person?
Oh, yeah. I agree with that. Just because of what the government's been doing, and people are scared.
Yeah.
But the 22 ammo, the stores don't get it like they used to.
And what do you think's going on? Here's what the ammo makers tell me. They're saying that, look, we're getting more orders from stores than we can produce. It used to be a store might order, call it 10 cases. And if all the stores ordered, say, 10 cases, then they had enough to produce that, and they could fill all the orders. Now you got stores ordering 1,000 cases instead of 10 cases. Just picking numbers here. They can't supply all of that. So what happens? Well, who's going to get first priority? Probably, realistically, Cabela's, Bass Pro Shop, the big retailers, some of the small folks, small gun stores who don't have necessarily great relationships with their distributors. They just order and get what they can get. They're at the tail end, and if there's nothing left in the pipeline, they're not going to get anything. So that really is what's going on. There's nothing more than the fact that ammo companies are making more ammo than they've ever made before. And we're simply buying more of it than they can produce. On the 22 side now the 945, 223 available. Some others are still in a little bit shorter supply because the ammo companies have kind of ramped up for 223, for instance, and shut down some of the lines for other rifle cartridges. So just be aware of that. Line 3, Clint's in Bremerton, Washington. Hey, Clint.
Hey, how you doing? Hey, I'm just
good.
calling to get your take on issue that happened at the Lewis County Gun Show, I guess, this weekend. I was seeing on Facebook that I wasn't there, but people were talking about a discharge that happened at the gun show. I guess it was a .308 caliber rifle. And, a lot of talk on Facebook about, it's the vendor's fault, because it was a loaded gun the vendor brought. But, on the flip side of that, I believe the vendors need to be held accountable for, their actions of what they're doing selling guns. But, a person that's also picking up that gun at a gun show and putting their finger on the trigger, there's joint responsibility there. And I just thought maybe you'd like to, talk to your viewers again and remind them that how important this is to, keep our rights to go to these shows and do it responsibly without bringing up some bad publicity for all of us gun owners in the United States.
It's a great point. I appreciate you letting me give me the opportunity to talk about this. Let's talk about gun shows and gun stores and the way people behave. You cannot go to a gun store, a gun show, without having somebody point a gun at you. That's why you won't see me at a gun show. You can't go there without somebody pointing a gun at you. They are generally careless. And if somebody close to me does that, I'm going to say something, and I'm not going to be nice about it. Don't point that gun at me is a perfectly okay thing to say. Oh, it's unloaded. Don't point the gun at me. We don't have time for an esoteric conversation here if you're waving a gun around. Let's go over this again. When you hand a gun to somebody, you open the action so that when they get it, the action is open. Even if you saw somebody else pick up a gun and check the action and you saw that it was unloaded, when you pick the gun up, you open the action and you look into it. And you assume that that gun is loaded. After you have ascertained that it is absolutely unloaded, you still don't point it at anybody or yourself. Real simple stuff. Every time, without fail, for the rest of your life, that's how you handle it. What are you seeing? You been to a gun show? People pointing guns around? Did it make you like do the dance of death? Are you jumping out of the way? How do you handle it when you're in a gun store or a gun show when people are doing that? I'd like to get your take on it. 866 Talk Gun.
At Double Tap Ammunition, we hand inspect every round that we make, and we use only the best components to give you the best ammunition on the market. Try us out at www.doubletapammo.com and use the promo code GUNTALK for 10% off your order.
Ever thought about building your own AR-15? Well, what about building your own AR-15 lower receiver? We're HLF Manufacturing, and we make 80% lowers. Build your rifle the way you want it. Use the parts you want. Have it all shipped to your home. We also have uppers, parts, and other things you need. We even have complete build kits to make it really easy. Visit HLFMFG.com for the whole story.
Tired of paying for one concealed carry holster after another that's flimsy, hard to hide, or just plain uncomfortable? Alien Gear holsters feature a super stealthy and ultra comfortable design. Our professional quality holsters are backed by an ironclad triple guarantee, including a free 30-day test drive, free shell trades for life, and a forever warranty. Starting at just $29.88, you won't find a better quality or better price holster on the planet. Any planet. Go to aliengearholsters.com to get yours now.
TopGunSupply.com carries a large selection of fine firearms and accessories. Get all the parts you need for your Sig Sauer, HK, and Glock pistols. Grips, screws, recoil springs, sights, barrels, magazines, holsters. The list goes on. Our knowledgeable sales staff, professional service, great prices, and super fast shipping are here to help you. Check us out today. TopGunSupply.com. TopGunSupply.com.
Accurate, powerful, consistent. At Double Tap Ammunition, we offer 364 loads in 83 calibers that give you exactly what you've been looking for. Try us out at www.doubletapammo.com and use the promo code GUNTALK for 10% off your order.
A famous radio consultant once said he'd be off the air in a year. Whoops! Defending your Second Amendment rights since 1995 on over 150 radio stations nationwide. You're listening to Gun Talk with Tom Gresham.
All right, back with the 866 Talk Gun. What are you finding out there? Do you go to gun shows? Are they still gouging prices at gun shows? Do you notice unsafe gun handling? Is it vendors or is it customers? What do you see out there? I'm just curious. Tim is on line 2. Got an interesting rifle and ammo question for me. Hey, Tim.
Oh, Tom. I have got 98 7.65 Argentine Mauser.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I stopped off at a gun store down in Hondo, Texas, and he sells, or used to, I don't know if he still does now, I've had this ammo for a while. He sells military stockpile ammunition, and I bought a bag of 7.65 by 59. And everything I find in the books says 7.65 by 53. What's
Correct.
the difference in the two ammunitions?
Oh, about 6. It was 53 versus 59. So
okay, I mean,
yeah, I know. I'm just playing with you. You want 7.62 by 53 ammo. I don't know what you have in the 7.65 by. I said 7.62. 7.65 by 53 is what you're looking for. I don't know what the 7.65 by 59 ammo is. And credit goes to Michelle, our call screener, who knew all of this cold, and she fed it to me. So I'm not going to take credit for your work, Michelle. You know this stuff. You have a military surplus. It's also called a 7.65 Argentine. It's a Mauser. You want is 7.65 by 53. Sell it, bury it, do something, get rid of that 59 ammo because that's not what you want for your rifle. Okay.
Okay, well, I noticed right after I bought it that there was a difference in my existing ammo, and that's why I've never shot any of it. I've never even rifled any of it into the gun. Yeah,
just leave it alone. I don't know, give it to somebody, use it for trading stock somewhere. I don't know, but you got the wrong ammo for that, all right? I appreciate that. Let's see here. One of the things I wanted to talk about a bit, your carry gun, if you carry all the time like I do, I carry every day. I'm in the South, okay, it's steamy hot, sweaty, all that, but honestly, the environment where you're carrying, particularly if you're inside the waistband, it's steamy hot and sweaty no matter where you are. If you're in Arizona, you still got that gun tucked right next to your body where you're giving off sweat and it's moist. What I'm talking about here, friends and neighbors, is rust. I pulled a gun off the other day and went, a little bit of rust on there because I hadn't done what I'm supposed to do. You get into habits and you don't clean them. You're not shooting them and you forget. You got to take them apart every couple of weeks, wipe them down. By the way, don't spray your guns. I know that a lot of people do, and I did in the old days. I go far enough back to where we actually used WD-40 on guns. Oh, heavenly days, don't do that. It's not good on guns. Don't put it on guns. It gums up, it'll varnish, it's not a good thing. You really don't need very much on a gun, lubrication, but you do need to protect the metal. And here's the thing, even if you have a polymer, i.e. plastic, gun, there's a lot of metal on that gun. So, and I have to do the safety thing again. When you take your gun off, drop the magazine, and then rack the slide once, twice, 3 times. And I mean rack it. Don't just run it back and forth with your hand on it. Rack it, let go of it. Rack it all the way back and let go of it. Rack it all the way back and let go of it. Then you're probably going to have a really good chance that you pull the live round out. Don't try to catch the live round. Don't try to ease it back and hold on to the live round. You know what's going to catch that live round? The floor. It does a really, really good job of it. If you're doing all kind of monkey motions with a gun and trying to catch a live round or do something cool, grab it in the air or ease it down, eventually something's going to screw up. Let it hit the floor. It's not going anywhere. Lock the slide back. Use the slide stop. Now you can put your gun down. Now you can bend over and pick up this loose round that's on the floor. It's not a big deal. It's kind of like at the range. If you start to drop a gun, let it go. People have shot themselves and other people when they're drawing a gun or handling a handgun and it slips and they reach out and grab it. And just, I don't know what it is, but when you do that, the finger tends to go inside the trigger guard and the thing goes bang. And who knows where it's going to be pointed. Let it go. Let it hit the ground. Big deal. I don't care. It's your custom super duper Les Bear Whiz Bang Wilson Combat $3,000. I don't care. Let it hit the ground. It'll have character scars on it. You'll have a story. It's not going to go off. Although it might if you try to grab it. By the way, we're going to do the after show here. If you'd like to be a part of that, all you have to do is call us, 866-TALK-GUN. Now would be a good time to do that. 866-TALK-GUN. You can get on the after show. If you haven't listened to it, you can check it out on Twitter, iTunes, Stitcher, other places. Hey, we'll be right back.
Join the NRA via Tom Gresham's Gun Talk website and receive $10 off the regular membership price. Log on to guntalk.com for details. You're listening to Tom Gresham's Gun Talk. Just because we're wrapping up on the air doesn't mean we're done talking about guns. Stick around for the after show. It's our podcast-only version designed to include all the stuff we simply couldn't fit into a regular show. Call in now at 1-TOM-TALK-GUN. Now, back to Tom.
Getting a lot of comments. People love the after show. If you haven't heard it yet, you can go to guntalk.com. You can click on listen. You can find it, download it. You can also get it off of iTunes, Stitcher. iTunes and Stitcher, I think will get it there. A lot of ways to find it, but you can also, probably the easiest, just to go to guntalk.com where you'll find that and a lot of other things. You can also, while you're there, you can sign up for the Truth Squad, get the newsletter we just sent out, so you could be informed on what's going on here. Okay, let's see. Steve, line 1 out of Elko. I'm not Steve, it's Stu. I'm sorry. Hi, Stu. How you doing?
Hey, I got a burr on my saddle here, Tom, and I'm just going to rant for a second if you don't mind. But
go for it.
If you're going to be a responsible gun owner, this superstitious urban myth that somebody's going to be scared out by racking a 12-gauge, knock it off. You're getting people killed. If they're 90-some% of all people who've done violent crimes that are in prison were under the influence, especially today with meth heads and stuff. They already calculated the risks or they don't care. And sitting there waiting for up to 4 seconds for some reaction because of some scary noise you think is going to be effective, they're going to make up that distance and get you. We need to stop it. If you're not willing to take a life, don't have the gun. Get a rape whistle if you think the sound's going to do something.
Man, Stu, I am with you. Here's the other thing. If people say, well, just rack the slide and they'll scare a boy. Really? Okay, let's just talk about it for a second. What have you done when you rack the slide and he hears it? 1, you told him you're there. 2, you told him where you are. 3, you've told him you have a gun. And what if that doesn't scare him at all? All it does is makes him start shooting through the wall. You didn't think about that, did you? Because you didn't go get training.
Anybody can make up that 30-foot distance maximum in a house in like split second with a knife. You're done. You're done.
Yeah, no, it's exactly right. So I agree with you, Stu. Appreciate that. Real quickly, John, line 2, Bristow, Oklahoma. Hey, John, talk to me.
Oh, well, I called asking him, or actually in response to your throw out about poor gun handling, primarily at gun shows.
Right.
And I've seen nothing but atrocious gun handling.
It is disturbing, and it's not just the people attending; it's the vendors too. And I would just, you know what? You know how we stop that? Here's how we stop that. Every single one of us just takes a pledge: we will no longer shut up and put up with it. We're not going to shrug. We're going to bring the True Squad to this too. No more just shrugging and go, well, it's just the way it is. Speak up. Say, hey, don't point that gun at me. Well, it's unloaded. I don't care. Don't point that gun at me. If it's a vendor, same thing. Don't point that gun at me. Same deal. Well, it's unloaded. I don't care. You know, I guarantee you the guy who got shot at the gun show thought, the guy who pulled the trigger thought it was unloaded. The guy who handed him the gun thought it was unloaded. And when you pick up a gun, check the action. Open it up. Feel inside. Look inside. Shine a light inside if you have to. And keep the muzzle pointed in a safe direction. Okay, we're going to crank up the after show. Right now, it's a great time for you to get involved with that. Call us 866-TALK-GUN. You could get on the after show. You could be a star. And there's no telling what we're going to talk about when we do this, because we're not on the air. So we get to do all kinds of cool stuff. Forget the FCC. We're going classic and wild and radical and gunny geeky. 866-TALK-GUN. We'll get you in here. We're doing the after show now. If you miss it, be sure to download it. Be safe out there.